Sagittarius, there's a lot of energy around you right now, and some of it's pretty disruptive. But there is an opportunity to bring something forward that's original, that's you, that's all about you. And so we're going to have a look and see how that plays out over the next few weeks. My name is Finn, and this is Magic 7 Tarot. I've done a Magic 7 Tarot spread for you already and had a chance to look at the energies. And there is a lot of energy. I mean, I probably don't have to tell you that. You're in the middle of it. So let's go through the past, present, future. We'll do some of the other cards, and then we'll pull a couple of oracle cards to give you a bit of guidance moving forward. Okay. In the past, we have Arcanum 16, the lightning. Okay. This is things coming down. Okay. So disruptions, irritability, anger, frustration, and things that were once built up coming down. Now, either you tore this down on your own or it came down without your input. Those are two different scenarios. In fact, this is the Mars energy, Mars card. If you have a look at where Mars is in your chart, it can give you a really good idea of where this energy is playing out. Now, if you don't know your own birth chart, go to astro.com. I've left the link in the description. And for free, you can set up a birth chart and get a sense of, where these energies express. The tarot is the silver key to astrology's gold key. Astrology is like a clock, right? Here's the picture, and then the picture moves through time. And so we're able to predict with astrology, when the energies will release. Now, that doesn't take into account how you're feeling or the things you're actually doing, right, in real time. That's why we use tarot to, take the temperature, as it were. Okay, so Mars energy is disruptive at best. I mean, even in the most positive expressions of Mars energy, it changes things. It's creative. So creativity or new things can be disruptive. Okay, so you've been feeling that harsh, difficult, irritable. All of those are key words that express this. Certainly, it could be the end of a relationship. It's the end of something. Something has come apart. Okay. There are a couple of different ways to. There are a lot of different ways to read these cards. Doing our general reading here, and so it's going to be different for each person. What I'm trying to do is kind of like an emotional weather report. So give you the sense of the energies, how you can manage the energies for the best possible outcome for not only for you, but everybody, right? Sometimes we have to do things we don't like for the betterment of other people. Okay. Okay. I digress. This key word keeps coming up for me, courage. So in the past, you've had to have some courage in facing these changes. Okay. These radical changes. And in the present, we have Arcanum 10, the wheel, also known as the Wheel of Fortune. Both of these cards are reversed, so that might indicate that it kind of mitigated a bit or a little more difficult to express. Doesn't mean worse or negative at all. This could represent the new conditions that have come about by, things coming apart. And it's also a lot of inventiveness, right? So, Uranus is sudden things. It definitely could represent some kind of sudden change in status, like a breakup. I sort of feel like in relation to the cards, there is some affections indicated, relationships here. This is more general than that. This is more like the landscape has changed. Okay. And so whatever had to come down in the past, again, based on your Mars placement, sorry, the phrase that came to mind is easy come, easy go, right? So this could represent, money or job. Definitely could represent that. And, a lot of expenses. Okay. And that's put you in a different situation than you were before. This could be a breaking of an old tie. And also, I want to say that both of these cards could represent some kind of irritability. So this is the part that you could control about this situation is your attitude, right? And Sag, you're a very positive person overall. So for you to be really irritated must be heavy, right? I hope that's not the case for all of you, that it's heavy. It's a heavy time. We're all living through it, right? Lots of changes in the air. Okay. We're feeling it. Everyone's feeling it. But you have to have courage in the face of these changes, right? Because inevitably, if something's going to come apart, pull that up again, it's going to come apart. No amount of holding on to it is going to make it stick together. Okay. Now, if you tore it apart, I mean, you got to accept that, it's over. Okay. Whatever is over is over. Something new is in the wind. And these new conditions are a change in your fortune. Okay. For better or for worse, there's a change in fortune. Okay. So I do see some quite positive cards related to like wealth and relationships. So stick with it in the moment. Okay. If this is where you're feeling right now, disrupted, in the midst of change, new conditions that you're trying to get used to, okay, just stick with it and try to stay positive. Okay. More positive. In fact, if you change your mind about something today, this reading is going to shift. Okay. This is the power of, uh, of thought and action. Okay. So have courage. Okay. Courage isn't the lack of fear, right? It's to be sticking with something even though you're afraid. Okay. So stick with it. Okay. In the immediate future, we have the Two of Cups, which is quite a different card. Right? These two cards, it's pretty heavy duty, right? Mars and Uranus. I mean, that's as disruptive as it can get, really. So now you have the Two of Cups, which is a beautiful card. And this could represent some kind of impulsive love affair. There's Pluto there. So, the most important thing, or some kind of like perfect, okay, let me find my words. A perfect union in the sense that you're both coming together expressing the same thing. So sometimes through hard times, we find, someone who we can be with. Now this could also represent a work of love. So if this is, the end of something that had to come apart or wasn't very satisfying, and now you're in the midst of change, in the immediate future you find something that you love doing and you put yourself to it. And I'm going to say this, that if you're in the midst of this change right now and you're feeling uncertain, go for something that you love. There's the adage, follow your bliss. Well, this is about that, right? Like the more you align with the things that give you pleasure, the more the positive influence is going to flow here. Reciprocated love. Okay, so if you start a relationship, and I mean, these could represent relationship cards, like something coming apart, a change of situation. Okay, and now you're finding someone that you're, compatible with, and that's an amazing thing. Okay, so have courage in the present. Don't worry if you have to break an old tie, like if you have to leave something behind. Okay, because in the immediate future we have, a pretty nice card. Now, sorry, every moment, images flood my sensorium, and so I'm just trying to sort them through and keep talking. And uh, so this could definitely be like, meeting someone who just knocks your socks off. Okay, and it could be volatile. And sometimes when we meet someone and we think, wow, this person is amazing, but we don't really know how that plays out, and I'm going to say it plays out really nicely. Okay, so stay with that. If you have a new love interest, it seems like it's reciprocated to me, or will be reciprocated in the immediate future. uh, some kind of perfect union, so that it's not so much a business partnership. I mean, all partnerships are businessy, right? Marriage is business, but it doesn't really vibe for that for me. Some kind of ending, some kind of new conditions you're dealing with, and then, you break through to find something that you either love doing or someone you love being with. And both of those are great expressions of that. And that looks very fortunate to me. Okay, so the part that you need to control is the 10 of coins. So this is a series of ups and downs, and it's like financial gains and then losses, and it's variability. Um, it is related to this card. So this is 10 of coins, and this is the Arcanum 10. So all the 10s are related to one another in the sense that they start off as Uranus, and this is the element of air. So this is a change of your point of view. And so this is the card of what you need to control or manage in the situation. mean, you're managing this change, right? Okay. And so manage it. I mean, this looks to me like you can, right? And it keeps saying courage because part of not being able to handle something is believing you can't. Okay, but I'm telling you, you can handle this. Okay, um, you certainly could have some financial worries attached to this, especially if you've had disruption around work. Financial worries, right? That makes sense. But um, gather your energies and focus them on what you want, what you love to do. Okay, that's the antidote here for the disruptive energies, right? Is focus and clarity, right? The clearer you are about where you want to go and what you want to be doing, or who you love and how you want things to unfold, the clearer you can be, the better the situation resolves. Okay, this also could be some kind of mental, like some kind of inspiration, right? You're going to feel, I mean, this is inspiration too. There are new big ideas on your plate, right? I mean, perhaps in the past you were holding back. I hope that's not the case, but you know, sometimes we hold ourselves back because we don't believe we're capable of doing things, and then the energies say, come on, do the thing you love to do. And I hope that that's how that's playing out for you. This card gives me lots of hope. Okay, this means that whatever you've been experiencing, the disruption, it kind of like the storm ends and you're on gentle seas, right where you want to be. That's exciting. So don't worry, be happy. I'm sorry if I don't want to be cliche about it, but kind of, right? I mean, it's hard if you have financial worries to think about almost anything else. Everyone's been in that position. Okay, so, but the ups and downs. Okay, so if you think about this as like a month or 2 months, moving forward, don't worry about what's happening, this morning. You can, or tomorrow morning, right? Think about it more long term, or at least short long term, right? A month or two. Okay, so the environment, we have the six of coins. It's reversed, so just a little harder to express. Um, uh, hmm. Okay, so six is Venus, and so there's relationships indicated here. This is like choosing love over money. And maybe it's choosing the thing you love to do over, making more money. So maybe you make less money, but you love doing what you're doing. And so you have a better quality of life. It's also original ideas. So there's new ideas. Again, lots of new ideas on the front here. Okay. Inspiration, new ideas. Um, it can represent spiritual companionship, right? I mean, it's nice you have someone to hang out with and go dancing with and have dinner with and all of those things. That's nice to have the compatible situation. But on a deeper level, we're always looking for someone who complements us, who lets us live our highest life. And so the environment is saying to you, that's what you should be looking for in these situations. Okay, it's definitely love instead of money. Okay, it doesn't mean no money. Okay, it just means prioritizing the thing that you love to do versus prioritizing money, which is challenging if you're having some financial ups and downs. Okay, there's no doubt about it. Courage, 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 Sag. Okay. Um, so it also could represent some kind of repression. Okay. And I kind of think that the situation is about repression and you're breaking out of your mold, of your box, of your shell. You're breaking out of something. Okay. And this is being overturned. Okay. Keep going. That's what it says to me. For all of the disruptive energy here, this is actually a pretty positive reading. If you can have some courage and get through the tough parts, it does resolve in a really nice way. Okay. What opposes you is the Eight of Cups. Eight of Cups. So, I'm going to call this extravagance. Okay? Don't go too far too fast. I mean, sometimes when we find what we really love or who we really want to be with, we can go overboard. And so this is asking you to, to enjoy the moments, right? Enjoy the energy, to have the feelings together, okay? And to have some kind of overall spiritual relationship rather than a purely physical relationship. And this is cautioning that it could go too fast too quickly, and that's going to be um, something that you need to manage. Also could represent some kind of quarrel, disagreement about, maybe about how fast things are going, okay? It's, you definitely want to get going. I mean, Uranus is not going to sit around, and Sagittarius, at fire energy, it doesn't want to sit around. You don't want to sit around. You want to get moving, right? It reminds me of that song. There never seems to be enough time to do the things you want to do once you find them. Okay, I get that, but let's not go nuts. Okay, have some balance here. Um, and don't strictly be ruled by your heart, right? There has to be some practical influence here. Okay, don't get carried away with your emotions. Okay, you've been carried away with disruption, carried away with frustration and anger or difficult situations, so it's easy to sort of keep going with that carried away thing. I don't. Okay, um, and watch, the sort of over possessiveness. Okay, you don't want to squash something that's new. Give it room to breathe. Okay. Okay. um, Anything else, Spirit, to come through here? Um, yeah. So, thank you. Uh, uh, don't give up yourself for the other person. Okay. Don't sacrifice your true needs for someone else's needs. Okay. That's not what love is. This is meeting halfway. Okay. And this is saying, yeah, don't go more than halfway. Okay. You don't need to, first of all, because it looks very positive to me. Okay. Make sure you're not giving up yourself uh, for someone else or something else. It feels like someone else. Okay. All right. And how does this resolve? We have Arcanum 17, which is the Gemini card. Truth, hope, faith. This is a very positive influence. Okay. You got to look for the truth in the situation. So, the truth about how you feel, the truth about what other people believe, the truth about how you're being treated. Truth, 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 truth. Okay. Do not, look for it, right? Look for what the truth is. Don't just blindly love, right? Look for truth. I know why I'm picking up that card. Okay. Don't be over the top, okay? Without knowing where you stand, and distinguish, truth from illusion, reality from illusion. But have faith. At the end of the day, this is about having faith. And when you initiate something, especially after you've had such disruption, how do I have faith that it's all going to work out? Boy, everything was going fine, and now it all came apart. Or I was managing myself in a situation that I didn't like, perhaps, and now, I've gone over, and I've left it, and I feel a bit overstrained in my resources and so forth. Okay. Faith. That's the word. If you believed it and you saw yourself doing it and you followed through on that, then keep going. Have faith that you're doing the right thing. Okay, Sag? All right, let's pull a couple of other cards and see if we can get some clarity of this journey this month. Lots of energy. Oh my goodness. But, a good resolution here. If you stay true to yourself, right? That's what that boils down to. It's going to be hard some days. I mean, I'm always going to spin these readings for the best possible outcome for you. Okay, even though, whoever's watching, I want you to succeed. That's the whole reason I'm doing this. It's a difficult time for everyone, and I started this channel because I can offer guidance to people, and this is my spiritual work, right? And I have lots of other interests and lots of other things I do. But I made a point that, connecting to my higher self and offering people guidance was something that I needed in my life. It's a great feeling to be able to help other people. Okay. So I want you to stay true to yourself here, and I want you to have faith that there's plan at work, right? And the plan might not be conscious for you. It might be feeling like it's imposed, but as above, so below is the Hermetic adage that we follow, okay, that I follow, right? In other words, if something's happening in the world, it's because of you. It's happening to you because, some part of you needed to grow or you attracted it through your thoughts and feelings, okay? All right. Let's pull a wild unknown archetype card. Eternal Spirit, what archetype could we give to Sagittarius this month to help them on this journey, help them manage these difficult, disruptive energies, help them to have courage in the face of the new, a desire to know the truth for Sagittarius, sun, moon, and rising sign. Well, the next month for Sagittarius, what archetype? A desire to know the truth for Sag. Now, I shuffle, if you watch me, I shuffle the cards and cut them into 3 piles, and I do that 3 times. And that's my focus. I try to ask my guides to help guide you. A desire to know the truth for Sagittarius. What archetype can we give Sagittarius? Sun, moon, rising. Do you know what the difference is? A desire to know the truth. Yes, I'm going to talk. Do you know what the difference is between your sun, moon, and rising sign? No? Okay, I'm going to link to a video at the end. I just made a video because, they're not the same at all. They represent 3 totally different influences. Okay, so if you have Sagittarius rising, that's going to be different than Sagittarius sun. Although, the reading is the same, it's going to express differently. So I'll link to that at the end. Okay, Spirit, what did we get? The Orphan. Okay. It's going to feel a bit like you're out on your own. What's that? Singing that Bob Dylan song. Have you seen that Bob Dylan movie? A Complete Unknown. We're with no direction home. Is that how you feel right now? I can see that. Right? Scary. Scary when things fall apart. Okay? And the wheel turns, right? And something new happens. Scary. To study the orphan is to study the deep and challenging energy of our time. We are ever connected, yet face collective isolation. The refugee crisis haunts our planet. Children are separated from parents, and the earth begs for our attention. We are in a time of universal orphanage of nature, of each other, of our own hearts. Take refuge in the fact that we all share this core wound and dilemma. It's normal to fear this card as it haunts the caverns of the soul. When it appears, take time, real time, to be in the presence of the feelings this card stirs in you. Let it humble you. What are you starving for? What do you love? Right? Ask that question. When you're in disruption, to go deep. What is the deepest gift you could imagine giving to others? That's a great way of framing it. What has been rejected is quite possibly what is needed most, dear one. What is rejected? What is repressed? Okay? Sometimes the thing we need to do most is the thing we're holding back on. I love that. The deep solace, deep acceptance, and deep love. Sagittarius, that's a pretty deep, it's heavy. I'm trying not to fool around. And when I hope that it's been clear. Like I said, I try to spin things best possible way because I believe everything is about a journey where we're learning about ourselves and building our character. But when you have Mars and Uranus, Arcanum 16, Arcanum 10, and things are disrupted, right? It's full on. I hear you. Okay. By the way, if this resonates for you, I'd love it if you could like and leave a comment. How did it? What did it mean to you? If it didn't resonate for you, leave me a comment as well and tell me why it didn't resonate or what was going on that this reading didn't connect to. Because, like I said, it's a general reading, can't connect to everyone. Speaking of that, I now have my privates open, so there's a link in the channel to if you want to do a private reading. Obviously, I can be really specific when it comes to private readings because we're talking one-on-one, if that's something you're interested in. Okay, we're going to do one more card, a Sacred Destiny Oracle card to give you some inspiration. Eternal Spirit, What inspiration can we offer to Sagittarius for the month ahead to help them deal with this change, this disruption, and help them find their true selves? Have courage and faith, a desire to know the truth. What's best? What inspiration can we give to Sag? A desire to know the truth. Inspiration for Sagittarius. Desire to know the truth. Okay. Awesome. Wonder. I'm going to read this. Wonders. I should read the card. Okay. Wonders. When we look into our own depth, we find ourselves, right? So I'm going to just read this card for you. Just around the corner, exciting possibilities are waiting for you. Okay. Wonders will be abounding in your life. Sometimes they won't be apparent at first. Nevertheless, they are there. The more you see them and embrace them, the more these possibilities will grow in magnitude. Celebrate and cherish even the smallest ones, no matter how tiny they may seem. Let go of expectations. Don't limit the way that you think that wondrous events could appear in your life. Be open. I mean, things are going to surprise you here. This is the card of sudden things. Same with this. So be open to something wonderful happening. That really makes sense to me. Be open. If you believe, where's this card here? Believe, have faith, right? If you believe, anything and everything is possible. Beautiful. That's the last card in that deck. All right, Sagittarius, hang in there. Lots of tough energy, lots of disruption. I want you to stay positive, have courage in the face of this change, and know that as we move into the immediate future, there is something new, maybe someone new. Certainly stick with the thing that you love. And if you've been holding something back from the world, right, your gifts, it's time to bring that forward, okay? Keep the faith. All right, Sagittarius. Have a great month. I'm going to check in with you in a couple of weeks. We'll do a mid-month fine tuning of this direction. And I'm excited to see how this progresses for you. Okay? I love you, Sagittarius. Peace.